Hi, and welcome to our last episode of this GIT tutorial on our casual conversations. If you have not seen the last two episodes, then I encourage you to do that, where we go through the basics of setting up a workspace, and the second video where we go through the basic pull and push and commit functionality of Git. And in this episode, we're going to dive deeper into how to manage projects combined with releases and bug fixes in production. There is a section in this video where I do a cherry pick from the master branch over to the release. Usually that is not the way we do it. Normally we just do a merge from the master into the release to make sure that the release has the latest updates so we can continue working on those. And then when we release, we do as in the video where we merge the release back into the master and then we release the master. So just keep that in mind. And if you have any questions, you know where to put them. With that said, let's dive in. So now everyone is happy, everything is up to date. We are working, we put this into production, and now the customer comes and says, oh, we want you to build a new version. We have these 5 tickets we want you to do. But how do we do that in the best manner? Because if we just continue to add things to the master, you will end up in a, because that's what you basically do in SVN.
Yeah.
You just add in a single thread new changes. And if you need something on the thing that's live in production, you need to do a change. You have to go back and add that change somehow to the code, and then push it to production, and then that change is somehow lost, and then you have to go back to the latest version of your source code, and then the next time they come with some support issue, you have to go back again, and then you have to download the production code, make changes to it, and yeah, so it can get a bit messy, and you don't have any control over it. Let's see how we do that. First of all, the master is always the code that we have in production. So that's kind of what I like to do. And I think most developers using Git have the master as the latest version in production. So now this is in production and we want to create a new release. So we create a new branch and we call it release, or R1 for short, create and checkout. So now we're on the same, we have the same code. We only added a different branch here. There's no different. It's just a kind of a toe holder, a tag kind of. So we can actually also, it's always nice to do this is the initial release of the application. So we can add tags for convenience. It's easy to go back and read tags if there's some special thing that happened.
Yeah, but last time when you did initially a checkout, it meant that all the files were downloaded to your local PC.
Yeah.
Now you just done another checkout. Does that mean there was a download of files to somewhere? Is there actually a branch on your computer containing these files here?
Now
so
this branch is now a local branch. So if I go up here, I have not pushed this branch yet, so you cannot find any other branches than master, and there are no other tags in this repository.
So when it's
either.
local, it means locally on the server.
Locally on my development machine.
On your development machine?
Yeah.
Okay, but that, does that mean that there are now 2 folders with that code, or what?
No, it's still just one folder. So the code is here. I haven't
Yeah.
changed anything in the code. I just
Oh.
added 2 labels to the code, and we are now using the R1 label. So this is our first release. So we're gonna go into the code, and now they want some social media links here. So we add some social media links to the sites, save that. And now we see that we have changes. So it added some social media links. We then go in and stage this one. We can also discard changes. So if I just copy this for convenience and say, now I want to discard changes, I can discard them by clicking here. I don't want these changes. Discard. Now they're gone. They're gone from here. So I have to type them again if I want to add them. Now it shows up here with the changes. So that makes it easy to kind of, if you make a lot of changes or console logs or printouts in your code, you can easily find those changes here because they will show up in this list. If I, for instance, just to test this, added a print debug statement into my mail form just to see that it still still works, that will also show up here. But I don't want to commit this because this is not something I want in the code. So I want to remove that. I just use that for testing. So I discard that one.
It is. Yeah, okay, fine. But the problem here for me now is to understand that, okay, now you made some changes.
Yeah.
And that belongs to the R1, to release 1 branch.
Yeah, so we are standing on the R1 here. You can see it's selected.
Yes, but what does that actually mean?
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Well, I want to know it now because I'm confused.
Yeah, that's
so what the hell is going on?
I'm showing you right now. So
okay,
adding social media icons. Now we commit, and now you will see that R1 has progressed with this new change. The master is still here, and there's nothing else here. So
the point is now, if you go and open the file on the disk, the one you just changed and committed, and look what's in it.
I got everything in it.
Okay, but now you want to work with the master version.
Yeah. So now the customer calls and say, "Oh, we have a bug. There's this mail form. There should be parentheses around this because it's not working."
Yeah.
So then we don't want to change it here.
No.
Because then we're changing on in our release. Of course, we want the changes to be applied to our release as well. But this is something that we need to change in the production environment. So we go back to the master production environment. Have a look here. Now you see the social media links are gone.
So does that mean that it has actually downloaded that version from the server?
No, it has all the versions on your local machine. So it has not downloaded anything. It just updated the workspace so that it looks like it did on this particular line.
Okay. Wow.
So now I can add the parentheses. And now this function will work. And I have checked out the master. So you see the master is selected here. And I go into changes. You can see the changes I made. So we stage these and add, so fix mail form include, and we commit this. So when we go back to the tree now, you can see that this is our production code, the master. So now we can upload the files to production. And then we might want to push this to the server so that Klaus also can download this and continue working with the master if he needs to. So I need to push this. And then we go in here and reload the page. And now if we go into the main, you can see that the main has the parentheses, but it does not have the social media.
Nope.
Because we haven't added that to our repository yet. And we still only have the master branch here.
Okay, yeah.
So now what we want to do, because I want you to work on this social media icon, the release.
Yeah.
So now I need to check this one out. So I'll double click on it. And if I go back to the code, you can see that the social media links have been added again. But this parentheses are gone.
Yep.
So I actually want this update to also be included in the release one. So as I'm standing on release 1, I'm going to cherry pick this commit. And there's some conflict here because it doesn't really know where things are updated. So we have to now resolve this conflict. So it says cherry picking commit fix one conflict. So if we go in here, we can see the file has a warning triangle and it says we need to fix a conflict because Git doesn't know how to solve this. So we click merge and then we get both of these files here. And I'm actually want to select this one and that one. And that's actually not going to work. So we want to edit, and editing is allowed. So I'm going to paste that in there and do that. So now I can say that this is what I want the file to look like. Resolve. And now the code has been updated and we can go into the Explorer. It looks correct. This is what I like. And commit files. So if we now go back to our release 1, you can see that fix mail form is included both places.
But you know, sorry to say, I got the most profound stomach ache after all this.
Yeah.
And it goes to show one thing, you know, because I have the habit of, before I push and pull and all these things, you know, I have a habit of making a local backup of everything before I do. Because apparently you can screw it up.
Yeah,
if you don't do it right.
But here you can see we can always go back to either of these versions. If you want to do some more changes to the master, you can check this one out. But now I want you to be able to continue working on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to push this release tag. And I just do a regular push. And now this has got this Bitbucket icon that says that this is where the master is. So now I should be able to go back into Bitbucket and look at the code. It will still show me the master, but I can actually go in now and look at release 1 and see what that looks like. And here I can see the social media links. So if I go back to the questionnaire, now it's on master. I go in the main and look, and in the master main, there's no social media links. So now I want to get these changes into the masters. Now I want to release this.
Yeah.
So I check out the master, and we're ready to go to release. So I do a merge into master. And now it's doing what it can to make sure that everything works. And we get a conflict here as well.
Surprise.
And let's see what that's all about. Oh, we're back in the mail form, but this time, I'm not sure why it's complaining over something, but this is actually the code I want to use. So in this case, I'm just going to select the left one because that's our updated code. But it takes care of it. It shows us what's the issue, and we can go in and fix it. So we resolve, and we have to commit the resolved fix. And we go back to all commits, and we can see that master has now been incorporated with the code from release 1.
It would be the other way around, wouldn't it? But the R1 has been incorporated in the master.
Yeah, exactly. But now, as you see, the origin master does not have these blue dots in the Git repository. So we still haven't got the code updated in the master here. So we also want to do a push for the master to make sure that everything is up to date on the server as well, so that Klaus can continue to work on it. And there you have it. And now we can actually add a tag here just for convenience. Say this is a release. And now we can do another push. And push all tags is checked here. So we're going to put the tags up in the Bitbucket as well. So we're going to have a look at that, because it makes it easier if I want to check out a certain release. I can actually find them by looking for the tags. So you have the final version of that release. Before it went in, we have the current master, and we have the tags. So this is the release, and this is the release of the application. So this is the initial release, and this is our first release 1. So if I click this one here, I will see our main code as it was in the first release we did. And if I click on the tag, this is a release, which is the latest one, and go into the main, we have both the parentheses and the social media links. So everything is up to date. And this is kind of the basics of the process of managing projects. And then, of course, you don't only have to do releases. You could also do like, I'm going to test to do another, and you do a branch for testing, for instance.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the way to manage branches. And this is also showing live the things I referred to in the other video in November. So
yeah, I think we've got a lot to digest here.
Yeah. So you might want to look at this video a couple of times.
Yeah, I think so.
Or go back to it when you need to do these different things. So hope that was helpful and useful, and I hope you have a great success with upcoming projects using Git. Yeah.
And don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up. No, but the thing is, it's actually really hard to mess it up if you're using Git, because you can always go back to the last working version as long as you make sure to commit everything regularly.
It's easy enough to me. Well, anyway.
Yep.
Take care out there.
Yeah.
Take care of your project.
Yes.
Take care of yourself. Bye.
Bye-bye.